There we go. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Carlisle Fly and Foul Behind the Vise. Today we are tying a attractor pattern called the Blowtorch. Now this is just a super buggy, attracting looking nymph. It's got this one's got a 2.8 millimeter bead on it, a tungsten slotted bead on a jig hook, so it sinks really fast, and it's just a really great overall attractor pattern. It's very effective, really deadly on those trout, especially when you're Euro nymphing it. But we're going to dive on in it today, and I'm going to show you guys how I tie this. Alright, starting off with a size 16 jig hook with a 2.8 millimeter tungsten slotted bead from Saluda Beads. Here we're using orange. We're going to use some nano silk. This is 30 denier in brown. Alright, start by attaching your thread to the hook. Bring that rearward. Now we're going to come in with some Glow Bright fluorescent floss in orange. It's going to be our tag. So what I like to do is I like to fold this over on itself. Then we're going to fold it over again, so essentially have about 4 strands. We're just going to tie that in, bring our thread rearward right to the start of the bend of the hook here. Bring that back forward. And here we can go ahead and trim that off. I like just a little bit of a tag there. While we're here at the front of this bead here, we're going to go ahead and kind of just secure that in nice and tight. Make sure that's oriented correctly. And then we can leave our thread about right there at the start of that tail. And we're going to tie in another piece of that orange floss here. And this is going to be for the ribbing of our fly. Again, we'll just bring that rearward. And we could just kind of secure it there out of our way. I'm going to come back through here and just kind of clean this up a little bit. Just going to use some UV ice dub for the body here. And this is just some, kind of red fox squirrel. So we're just going to dub a noodle onto our thread for the body. We'll start off with just a little bit, and we can always add more if we need to. So we're just going to kind of wrap that forward here to about right there. And I think I might add just a little bit more dubbing. About right there. Okay, now we can wrap our ribbing up the body here. About to right there at the end of the dubbing. Just a couple thread wraps to secure that. Trim our excess. And now we are going to form a dubbing loop for our CDC. Okay, so now I've got some CDC kind of preloaded into my dubbing clip here, and we're just going to slide that into our dubbing loop. what you want to do when you're wrapping this CDC up is just kind of try to give a few strips back to kind of preen those fibers back some. You'll inevitably trap a few of them. It's not that big of a deal. We'll kind of clean some of this up with our thread. So we got that tied in. We're going to tie off that dubbing loop here. Then we can cut that excess off. So we'll just kind of preen all these CDC fibers back. Put some thread wraps in it. Alright, next we're going to come in with some eye stub, and this is peacock black. We're going to start forming our collar here. And you don't need a whole lot of this dubbing. A little bit goes a long way, at least on these collars here. Dub that right there. And now we can throw in a quick whip finish. Now we're going to add in some purple thread for just a little bit of an extra hot spot right there behind the bead. Once you got that thread attached, you can come in and just do some whip finishes and secure that in. Alright, and there you have it. And if you got any kind of extra fibers sticking out, you can kind of come through and trim some of those up. And but yeah, that's just a really super awesome attractor pattern. Just this blowtorch here, and you can kind of tie these in all different sorts of colors and combinations, different sizes. You can really there is no limit on the possibilities on the different combinations that you can tie this in, but it's just a really cool attractor nymph, and it just catches a lot of trout, and they just really can't stand, or they can't resist that CDC in any kind of bug, whether that be a nymph, dry fly, whatever. CDC is always a really good option. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Remember to like and subscribe to these videos. I really enjoy doing the tying videos. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see me tie next, and we'll see if we can make it happen. But until next time, we'll see you on the next one.